Exploring the kidneys. The kidneys serve as vital organs responsible for a multitude of functions, crucial to maintaining the body's internal balance. Primarily, their main function is to filter the blood, eliminating waste, products such as urea, which is synthesized in the liver during deamination. Additionally, the kidneys regulate the level of ions and water in the body through a process involving nephrons, which consist of tubules that absorb water, glucose, amino acids, and urea molecules. This intricate filtration process includes selective reabsorption, where all glucose is reabsorbed, some water is reabsorbed, and brings forth the concept of urea recycling. Furthermore, the kidneys participate in the secretion of certain substances, such as drugs, ions, and toxins in the urine from the bloodstream. Another vital role of the kidneys is in the regulation of various physiological processes. They play a crucial role in regulating blood pressure through the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, also known as RAS, which controls blood volume and systemic vascular resistance. Moreover, the kidneys produce erythropoietin, a hormone that stimulates the production of red blood cells in the bone marrow, thereby regulating erythropoiesis. Additionally, the kidneys activate vitamin D into its active form, essential for calcium absorption in the intestines, and they also contribute to the regulation of the body's acid-base balance by excreting hydrogen ions and reabsorbing bicarbonate ions. The kidneys maintain homeostasis through intricate feedback mechanisms. For instance, the hypothalamus detects the concentration of water in the bloodstream and signals the pituitary gland to release antidiuretic hormone if levels are low. Conversely, if levels are high, less ADH is released, resulting in reduced water reabsorption to maintain balance. This process exemplifies a negative feedback loop. In response to stimuli such as low blood pressure or decreased blood flow, the kidneys initiate a homeostatic response cycle involving the secretion of renin. This hormone activates the RAS, leading to vasoconstriction, increased sodium and water retention, and ultimately a rise in blood pressure. As blood pressure and volume increase, renin secretion decreases, closing the loop and maintaining blood pressure within the normal range. Similarly, in regulation of erythropoiesis, low oxygen levels in the blood stimulate the secretion of erythropoietin. This hormone triggers the production of red blood cells, increasing oxygen transport. As oxygen levels rise, the stimulus for erythropoietin secretion diminishes, leading to a reduction in production and completing another negative feedback loop. The kidneys respond to stimuli, such as low levels of calcium or phosphate, by stimulating the production of calcitriol, which promotes increased intestinal absorption of these minerals and stimulates bone resorption. Elevated levels of calcium or phosphate inhibit the production of parathyroid hormone, reducing the stimulus for calcitriol production and completing another negative feedback loop. Anatomy and structure of the kidneys. Structurally, the kidneys consist of various components, such as the renal cortex, renal medulla, and renal pelvis. Nephrons, the microscopic structural and functional units of the kidneys, are responsible for filtering blood and generating urine. Each kidney contains millions of nephrons, consisting of a renal corpuscle and renal tubules. The renal corpuscle, composed of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule, serves as the site of blood filtration. Additionally, the renal tubules, including the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct, play essential roles in reabsorption and secretion, contributing to the regulation of electrolyte balance and pH in the body. The renal arteries deliver oxygenated blood to the kidneys, branching into smaller vessels that eventually reach the nephrons. After blood undergoes filtration through the nephrons, the renal vein carries filtered blood away from the kidney and back into the circulatory system. Filtration constitutes the primary function of the kidneys, wherein blood is filtered through the glomeruli to remove excess products and excess substances. This process occurs in the renal corpuscle, where blood pressure forces fluid and solutes from the glomerular capillaries into Bowman's capsule. Filtration. Following filtration, essential substances such as glucose, electrolytes, and water are reabsorbed from the renal tubules back into the bloodstream. Reabsorption predominantly occurs in the proximal convoluted tubule and loop of Henle, ensuring the retention of valuable substances within the body. Substances such as drugs, ions, and metabolic waste products are actively secreted from the bloodstream into the renal tubules for excretion. Secretion primarily takes place in the distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct, further facilitating the elimination of waste from the body. As ultrafiltrate passes through the renal tubules, it undergoes modification to form urine, a concentrated solution of waste products, electrolytes, and water. Ultimately, urine is collected in the renal pelvis. Now, looking at the clinical presentations of kidney diseases. Diabetic nephropathy is a serious kidney complication that arises due to long-term uncontrolled diabetes. It is characterized by damage to the small blood vessels in the kidneys, leading to impaired kidney function over time. It results from the chronic hyperglycemia associated with a diabetic condition, and it has various implications. Firstly, the high blood glucose content means that when you filter through the glucose into the Bowman's capsule, it drags a lot of water with it, as glucose is a very osmolar molecule. Also, it activates the renin-angiotensin aldosterone system, and chronic activation of this system leads to various symptoms of oxidative stress and also into high renal pressures within the glomerulus. This all adds up to having effects on the small blood vessels within the kidney, leading to impaired function, and the scar tissue that is deposited over time from these damaged tubules means that the glomerulus becomes very leaky, and you eventually end up with a presentation of proteinuria, which is protein in the urine. In the cases of kidney failure, options such as dialysis and kidney transplantation become essential. Dialysis involves the separation of dialysis fluid from the blood vessels by a partially permeable membrane, allowing for the removal of waste products. However, it poses challenges such as blood clots and infections. Kidney transplantation offers a more permanent solution to the risk of organ rejection, though the risk of organ rejection remains a concern, necessitating lifelong medication to suppress the immune system. Finally, conditions affecting the kidney such as chronic kidney disease, acute kidney injury, kidney stones and urinary tract infections can disrupt their functions and lead to complications. These conditions require prompt diagnosis and appropriate treatment to manage symptoms and prevent further damage. In summary, the kidneys are integral to maintaining homeostasis in the body through filtration, hormonal regulation, and other physiological processes. Understanding their functions, regulatory mechanisms, and associated conditions is crucial for ensuring overall health and well-being. Thank you for listening. Welcome to a new series that will cover all the major organs in the human body and will expose them at the medical level to help students and professionals all over the world in an organ-by-organ odyssey. Neuronix wishes to leave a strong impact on the clinical world so be sure to check out our other videos to support the channel. Thank you.